Hi, welcome back. We're here with Team Type 1 Diabetes, Eric Tozer, and Eric's going to let us know a little bit more about the team.
Thanks for having me. Today, like you said, we had a great ride, 30-mile ride with about 50-55 participants in the upcoming ADA Tour de Cure ride. With Team Type 1 Sanofi, we really, our mission and our goal is to, we strive to instill hope and inspiration in everyone affected with diabetes. So whether it's a newly diagnosed patient, child, adult, teenager, the families, the parents, everybody, everyone affected with it. We really try to instill that hope and inspire people and show kind of what we're able to do through sport and through triathlons or marathons or on the bike, really what's possible, and that diabetes doesn't have to slow you down, doesn't have to stop you. It's a disease, it's a diagnosis that's challenging and tough for some people to hear. Mm-hmm. But the great news is we have tools, we have the management, everything we need for proper management. And so our goal, my goal, and part of the team is to be a role model and show people in the diabetes community that anything's possible.
Yeah, when you were speaking to the people yesterday and today, you're a great role model, you're an ambassador, basically an ambassador for diabetes, and showing people how they can live a normal, pretty much normal life, a healthy life, and do whatever pretty much you want. I was trying to chase you down today. I was doing 28 miles an hour. The guy behind me says, yeah, we were doing 28 miles, and I wasn't closing the gap. I thought I was going to close the gap, and I saw you and this guy jump, and I was talking to some people doing some interviews on the side, and I go, I'm going to get down to Hammer, and I couldn't close the gap. The only way I caught up to you is we hit a rest stop. But
I think I had a tailwind.
But if people are thinking, oh, I got diabetes and this is it, hey, you've done some incredible things, and it's like life's just beginning. Just because you're diagnosed with something, that doesn't mean anything. You can still achieve a lot of things. I know you just completed a run across America.
That's right. Yeah, we 10 of the athletes on Team Type 1. We departed from Oceanside, California in late October, and the goal was to run across the United States, end up in New York City on World Diabetes Day, which is November 14th. So, 10 of us took off on this 3,000 plus mile journey, and we made it on time. We did about 28 miles per day per person running, which was far and beyond anything any of us had ever achieved. So it was a incredible journey. Really, for me, it's kind of a testament to just the true capacity of the body and mind are so much stronger mm-hmm. than I feel like we give them credit for. We all went in a little unsure of what to expect. I figured I'd be limping around every night when we tried to hit the sack to get some sleep, and it seemed like my strongest run was the final run of each day. And if you told me that going into the run, I would have probably thought you were crazy. But 3,000 miles later, we ended in New York City, and we're high-fiving and jumping around because we felt good. And through that 2-week process, the reason for our success was our management, was with the fact that we had our numbers dialed in, we had our insulin right, we had the tools, and we were able to check our sugars constantly, know where our blood sugar was, fuel correctly, before, during, after exercise, give the body back what it needs to function, and really
that is nice, because you were dialed in. Because I know even people without diabetes, I know sometimes if I go train and I'm not eating right or doing the right things, either I'll bonk or run out of energy, and it's like, oh, it's like kind of today, I ran out there trying to catch you guys, and I didn't eat breakfast, so I'm trying to eat a Cliff Bar as I'm starting off, and I'm eating a banana and trying to eat at the rest stop, and it's like, yeah, if you don't have those things dialed in, just in general in life, and it's like you guys are, crossing the country, and you can do anything, and it's like there's nothing that can hold anybody down. It's like you guys are inspiring me out there. I was just watching the stories, and I know you guys were talking to someone. I think you spoke to a girl that was riding the bike out there. I think she was like 14.
Yeah, that's right. I rode for probably 5 or 10 miles with a 13-year-old Type 1 patient, and I mean, you say we inspired you. I mean, she inspired me. Mm-hmm. That's kind of what why we do what we do is that giving back and being part of the community and being like you said, a role model in the diabetes community is huge. And I had this great conversation with her, and at 13, she was diagnosed at 3, and so she's been dealing with this and managing it for 10 years, and she's 13 years old, and she's got the mindset of this isn't the end of the world. It's something I'm gonna have to deal with for a long time, but she recognizes that through the right nutrition, and she cycles, she rides her bike to and from school every day, so she's figured it out. She's realized that exercise helps. So it was like a little team type 1 athlete in the works. So it was pretty encouraging to see, and really just kind of made the ride extra special for.
That was neat to see when you were telling me that she knows she needs to exercise, so she rides her bike to and from school.
Yeah.
And I was like, wow, we can learn a lot from people even younger than us and older than us, and it's like, yeah, there's nowhere we can learn anyway. There's no set way how to learn stuff,
right,
and
yeah.
that was pretty neat. I was riding with 2 guys, and one guy was telling me, he goes, I was trying to catch interviews, and he goes, this guy's saving my life, and it was his best friend or buddy. They work at Intel, and either they go ride at lunch or they go walk at lunch, but they always do stuff. And he's got a workout buddy, so he keeps him active. And he goes, and those are the guys, we're doing 28, they're sitting right there with me, we're hammering after you guys. And it's like, there were some great stories out there. And then, like a lot of things I didn't know, you were talking about, like you use an insulin, is it an insulin pump and stuff like that? And you were telling, if you could let the audience know more about that and how they can control them, their diabetes, or how they can manage it.
Yeah, certainly, and it's really for every person with diabetes, it's unique to them. It's going to be a trial and error process. Everyone who manages the disease, has had ups and downs. But it's kind of what you do with those downs and what you do with those ups, and a learning process. So for us, on the team, I use a wireless insulin pump. So I don't have the tubes anymore. There's everything's automated from a little handheld device, and it's great being on the bike because I don't have to worry about tubes. I can throw the device in my pocket and ride, or if I'm out swimming, I don't have to worry about taking it off. It's all there. Sanofi they make, in my opinion, the best insulin out there, and it's the quality of insulin that companies that they're putting out there that allow us to continue to manage it better. It's really kind of raised the bar, and you see technology come so far. So it's companies like the Sanofis and the Omnipods that are really raising the bar for everyone else out there, and it makes our lives easier, and it's gonna end goals to add years to our life, right? In my mind, it's being able to have that proper management so that I plan to live as long as anyone else, and and I'm not going to use diabetes as a crutch to take years off my life. That doesn't make any sense to me. I don't see why. We have the tools out there. But it's a process. It's every day. It's checking your sugars. It's knowing where you are. The more you do it, the better you become at it. It becomes second nature. So it's one of practice makes perfect, right? And so
I know you were saying before, like if you see your either numbers going up or going down, and it helps you adjust. If you could let the people know how they can, especially a lot of them are professional athletes like you, but they might do sports or they might have similar things. How do you go about, like, say if your insulin's going up or going down, what are the things you do to try to control it?
And it's going to be, whether you're a professional athlete or you're going into a meeting at work, you still need to know what your blood sugars are doing, So for me, I wear a continuous glucose monitor. So it's, if I check my sugars, I get a number of, 115. That's great, right? But it's, where's that number headed? It's going somewhere. It's either dropping, it's steady, or it's climbing. So devices like the continuous glucose monitor just help and allow you to prevent a low from occurring or treat a high before it gets too high.
So it'll show you, it'll say this is where you're starting, or it'll arrow up.
It'll show you your 115, but you're dropping. So you need to go get some orange juice or go get a bar or whatnot, and make sure you prevent that low from happening. So if I'm going into exercise, I'll make sure that my sugars are maybe a little bit higher than normal, because I'm going to be burning them off just through exercise.
So you have it.
So if I'm stepping into a long meeting at work, I'm going to make sure that I've got some sugar on me just in case. I'm going to make sure I know what my sugars are doing ahead of time, so it's not an issue. So I don't have to excuse myself or anything like that.
I was just impressed, like when you were speaking to the audience, and it was nice. You were helping them, you were giving them, the insight of things you've done, where you've been, and then also it was Nathan that was with you, and some of the things you do weren't the same, but you still kind of get the same results, and it's kind of like testing your body and knowing where you're at, because everybody's different.
That's right.
And so it's what feels right, or how you feel right, basically, and how that goes, and all that. So I was impressed, and I could see the knowledge that people were picking up, and then sometimes they were shooting stuff back to you, and it's like, okay, I've done that or learned that, or you're learning something too, and it was pretty neat. Everybody was helping everybody there today. It was just fun. We got some good. I got some real good. I think I'm drained from that exercise. I think I need a little more water, but it was just fun. It was enjoyable. Now, what are your goals? I know you have some big goals coming up.
Yeah, for me personally, it's going to be an exciting year. At the end of the year, the year will culminate in competing in Ironman Arizona, which will be, for me, it'll be my first full Ironman event, so I'm looking forward to that. It'll be in November with, I think, 7 or 8 other athletes on the team. And throughout the year, we'll do a handful of marathons and half Ironmans, Olympic distance triathlons, kind of getting out there and further instilling that hope and trying to inspire people and like I said, using triathlon as a platform to kind of.
And you do the whole. So you guys work out as a team, but you do your own. The whole thing is your own. You don't do individual events.
Yeah, so it would be nice, but for Ironman Arizona, we'll do it's a 2.4 mile swim, a 112 mile bike, and then a marathon, so a 26.2 mile run. It'd be nice to have some people helping out, but it's a challenge that I can't say that I would have taken it on before I was diagnosed. To be honest, I think I said last night that the diagnosis was not a good thing. No one wants to be diagnosed with anything, but for me, since being diagnosed, I've done things that I never would have even considered doing.
You're making something good out of it.
Yeah, just kind of further kind of pushing myself and proving to myself and anyone else out there that just because I have this disease that it's not going to slow me down, and I'm going to go out and complete an Ironman and hopefully beat a few people along the way.
That is, I've done like mini triathlons, and trying to get fast at the swim. Well, I'm swimming hard one day, and then I got to go jump on the bike, and then you're doing a swim and bike together, and then one of the worst things I learned was I wasn't practicing my transition from the bike to the run. I had jelly legs for the first mile, and I couldn't run. But it's hard because it's not just being good at one sport; it's being good at 3 sports, and then you want to get to Kona.
I think that's,
and that's, you got to hit a certain time trial or time barrier?
That's exactly right. So Ironman Kona is the world championship. I think for most triathletes out there, that's kind of the end-all be-all. That's what we're all shooting for. We actually have 2 triathletes on our team who have qualified and completed and raced in Kona with type 1 diabetes. So it's possible. And those guys are role models for me. So even within the team, there's folks that I look up to. But you're right. It's 3 disciplines. It's 3 sports. So it certainly keeps me busy, and there's always something I should be doing. And whether it's swimming, biking, or running, but I absolutely love it. And then an added benefit for me, aside from just being able to exercise, is that exercise helps make my diabetes management that much easier. Because exercise burns your sugars and requires less insulin for me, and while I exercise, I find my management easier. If I don't exercise, it's a little bit trickier. Sometimes my numbers run higher. So it's a win-win.
Yeah, just in general, there's a lot of good to exercise, and just kind of like diet too. It's like eating healthier. I think that helps. Does that help with your diabetes?
Yeah, it's whether you have diabetes or not. Whether you're for us, we kind of look at, okay, what do the pros do? What are they doing? And then, we kind of modify it to our bodies and what our bodies require for insulin. But essentially, it's, the same stuff. You got to have a healthy diet. If you're putting bad stuff in, you'll probably get a bad result out, right? So try to eat as healthy as we can. With insulin and carbohydrates, it's really a balancing act, and knowing how your body reacts to certain foods and how much insulin you require and all that. So, but like I said before, it's trial and error to some extent. You learn as you go, and every meal you get that much smarter, you get that much more experience, and next time you do it, it's going to be that much easier.
Yeah, I think a lot of people, especially if they're newly diagnosed or something, it's something, it might be hard in the beginning. It's kind of like, I think you were sharing that and other people are sharing that, but the longer you have this disease, you're getting better at it, you're fine-tuning it, you're saying, hey, I can eat this, I can eat that, maybe I shouldn't have this. I think you were talking about that too last night about certain foods. You say, I can't stick to this too much. Was it sweets? I can't remember exactly what it was, but.
Yeah, I was diagnosed at 22, so, we have guys and girls on the team diagnosed from, 1 or 2 all the way up to into their 40s. So, being diagnosed at 22, I kind of knew life before diabetes. So, I would have birthday cake, or I would have, a peanut butter and jelly sandwich, and not have to worry about, okay, how much carbohydrate is in this, and what's my body going to need to get this into my cells. So now I pay much closer attention to what I eat, but at the same time, I'm more knowledgeable about what I eat. I know what I'm putting inside my body, and so I think I'm actually probably healthier in the sense of my diet's healthier than it used to be, and it used to be pretty good. So at the end of the day, I think it's I've heard doctors say it's a healthy diet to have. It's not just what you're eating, but why you're eating it and what the.
Yeah, I think they were saying something about, you guys were saying last night, somebody was saying that it's almost like the heart association, the diets they have, it's like, we're already doing that, we're eating you're eating the right foods and stuff like that. And I notice when I start doing that too, you get healthier just internally, because it's probably healthier for your heart too, because you're doing that. Besides helping your diabetes, you're managing the rest of your body and stuff. So do you have some stories out there? I know you travel pretty much across the U.S., or is it? I know you're out of L.A., but where do you actually go and you talk to people in the rides?
I'll kind of go anywhere people want us to go, or anywhere they'll listen. I kind of joke and say I'll talk to anybody about diabetes that will listen to me. So, I'm based in Southern California, and it's a great network of folks down there. Unfortunately, there's a lot of people who have diabetes, and as one pretty fascinating thing about our run across the country is, we were going slow enough that we would get to have interactions with people, and every time we stopped in, kind of waiting for the next runner to come, they'd see the signs on the van or whatnot and ask what we were doing, and tell stories about their niece or nephew or neighbor or grandfather, who was affected with diabetes, and how much it meant to them that we were doing this. Complete strangers, and it just added that much more, and helped motivate us on.
That is nice. Yeah, you're out there running, and you're out in the middle of I think you were saying you're out in the middle of the Midwest, and you got these people coming up to you, and it's like it's got to inspire you. It's like, I'm doing the right thing. I'm doing the right thing. And I have a heart. I've done one marathon, and I don't think I'll ever run a marathon again. I pound too hard. And you ran, I think, what'd you say, like 300 miles you were telling me, total?
Yeah, so, there were 10 of us that did the Run Across America, and it was, roughly 3,000 miles. So, we each did